Let's get it, baby. Bloody hell, motherfucker. We done. That's a wrap.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Supptalk Radio. Although my guest does not need an introduction, as he's one of the most highest requested guests I've ever had, I'm going to give him one. He's a father. He's a husband. He is a gym owner. He is a Muay Thai fighter. He is a movie critic. He is a podcaster. And most of all, he is one of my closest friends. As always, Robik, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it. You know, I always like hanging out, talking, and just bullshitting. So this is one podcast that I always look forward to. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
As I just told my wife, it's my therapy with my buddy here.
Yeah, let's just have fun.
So you know what? I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to make the listeners wait here. I'm going to take a detour. Okay.
Okay.
One of the things that I mentioned, movie critic. Okay. At what point did you become more of a movie critic versus just watching a movie for face value?
As long as I can remember myself, probably. You know what? Because every time people that know me from within the industry or something, you know, they know about my passion for fighting and you know, and obviously the industry, since I am part of the industry and as a gym owner, that's how people usually, you know, when they talk about me, that's usually what comes up. But the truth is, from the time I remember myself, movies was always my passion. It's still my number one passion. This is one thing that kind of like very, very close to heart. I mean, you know, how people go out and they have fun and they hang out with friends when they go to the movies and stuff. I really don't need nobody. I mean, just give me a good movie and I'm more than happy. I can watch 2, 3, 4 movies in a row. I mean, it's not an issue at all. I enjoy it. And it's the whole, it's not just watching a film, you know, action film or something like that. It's just watching movies, the whole process in terms of screenwriting, acting, directing, and catching flaws and stuff like that always fascinated me. I really enjoyed it, you know, and that's the reason why I took up drama when I was younger. I was in drama school, and you know, I always enjoyed the whole aspect. Anything that has to do with art, you know, count me, and I love it.
What are your 3 favorite movies?
Oof. Honestly, you know what? Because I like movies, I don't have a favorite genre. So, you know, don't ask me that because, you know, when people say like, "Oh, he likes Jean-Claude Van Damme," yeah, I like it because it would show me one kid, you know, especially our age, who doesn't like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Sylvester Stallone or you know, those guys. But I just like a good movie. For me, I don't have a favorite music type. I don't have a favorite movie type.
Yep.
For me, either I like it or I don't like it. And you know me personally, you know, we've been friends for a few years. And, you know, if I like something or someone, you can tell. If I don't, you can tell that too. So for me, there is no particular genre. But when it comes to movies, you know, things like obviously The Godfather, Scarface, you know, Rocky, First Rambo, First Blood. I love that movie. You know, recently I was talking to somebody and they asked me what's my favorite Al Pacino movie, and they were shocked when I didn't say that it was Scarface or The Godfather. I actually said The Scent of a Woman.
I had a feeling you to say that. Okay.
You know, and people were like, "Well, really?" I'm like, yeah. I said, you know, probably that and Heat, just because of the whole Robert De Niro and Al Pacino sharing a scene. Yeah. Heat is definitely maybe my out of up to. There was another Al Pacino movie that I really, really like, but I don't think many people even know it exists. It's a small thriller that was done, I think, in the 90s or maybe even 80s, called Sea of Love.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, he was a cop in the movie or a detective.
Yeah, he was a detective in a movie with Alan Barkin. I really love that movie. I thought it was fascinating.
Did you see on Paramount the behind the scenes? It was a TV show based on the behind the scenes of The Godfather.
Yes, I watched that. Yes.
Yes, very good, very good.
Yeah, it's I mean it's an absolute must. I mean, we were also a couple of years ago. We went to the anniversary of Scarface with the entire cast. It was live in New York City. It was absolutely amazing. You know, it's definitely he's one of my favorite actors. But there are a lot. I mean, listen, you'll be surprised, but I like Pretty Woman. I think it's a fun movie. It's a great drama, great comedy. So, you know, like I said, I like a lot of French cinema. I love Spanish films, Russian. I mean, I'm very definitely diverse when it comes to different films.
You've mentioned a lot of males. What about some of your favorite female actresses?
Oh, Jane Fonda,
Okay.
huge fan of Jane Fonda. Ellen Bernstein, I absolutely love her. Also,
Jane Fonda's made a big resurgence like on Netflix the last couple of years here.
yeah, I mean, look, and she's in her 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
When it comes to maybe a little bit younger actresses, huge Hilary Swank fan.
Okay.
I think Hilary Swank is, I mean, she's a two-time Oscar winner, but I don't
Yep.
think she gets enough credit.
Agreed.
Million Dollar Baby, that's just the performance of a lifetime. I like Charlize Theron, Sandra Bullock,
Yes.
but earlier work. Not a big
Okay.
fan of the last few years. So yeah, I guess that's about it.
What about 3 words? Ana de Armas.
Hot. That's it. I mean, that woman. I saw her first time in a very little independent movie. Actually, it was at the Sundance Film Festival with Keanu Reeves called Knock Knock, and
Yes.
it's a lot of nudity, a lot of sex, and I remember like think that I don't even remember all the details about the movie. I just remember her. Yeah, and just that woman doesn't have to act; she just has to be on screen.
We were watching, I don't remember the name of the movie on Netflix with her and Chris Evans, where she's a spy. And
Yeah,
I said to my wife, I said, watch her. I said, Robik put her on my radar here. And I said, she seems like she's up and coming.
yeah, that movie was very, very good. That was really good movie. But she's like, I think, you know what? Surprisingly, she played Marilyn Monroe recently on Netflix, and I've yet
Yes.
to see that movie. I still haven't watched it. But from what I understand, I mean, especially considering, if I'm not mistaken, she was born in Chile.
Okay.
So considering her roots to play an American icon, I mean, I'm surprised I still didn't watch the movie, but it's something I want to see.
Now, I might be wrong in asking this question, but what about Molotov Samba? Now everyone's going to be looking that up.
You did your homework. Okay. Yeah, I'm blushing. Good one. Good one. You did. You did. So when I came to United States, like a lot of people are gonna be fucking hunting to see that movie now. When I came to United States, I studied at Lee Strasberg, which is
Hmm.
a very famous drama school. And after graduating from there, I did a couple of off Broadway plays. And Molotov Samba was an independent film
Hmm.
that was shot in New York City, and I got a small part in it.
So what was the role, though? Did you just play background, or what was your
No,
character? Or
it was very, very stereotypical. So keep in mind that back in those days, I was heavy, and I mean heavy into bodybuilding,
okay,
not so much into fighting, mostly bodybuilding. So I kind of looked a
you
little bit
hired
bigger.
muscle?
Well, yeah, I looked probably what I was about 220, 225 pounds at that time. Yeah, I was a little bit bigger, and I played a bodyguard for obviously a Russian mobster. So I was misbehaving a lot in that movie. Put it this way,
Okay.
that movie might have cost me my first marriage.
But wait, you said it was filmed in New York, but it's a foreign film, though, isn't it?
It's a foreign film. It's a Brazilian slash American production. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because I tried looking it up a little bit, but I couldn't actually find it. I found a preview, hoping maybe I'd see in the preview, but no luck.
Yeah, they made it to a film festival, I believe, in Berlin or something like that. And yeah, I watched a couple of clips. It was rather embarrassing, but it was a good experience.
Did you make scale, or did you make a little bit more?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. Yeah, but like I said, I mean, it was fun because it was shot in New York City. I had uh, a couple of scenes speaking as well, and I had to beat up a woman pretty violently in the movie. So it
Oh
was fun,
boy.
something I often want to do.
So, so now hopefully people will start seeing it, and you'll start getting these residual checks, a couple of cents residual checks, maybe.
That movie probably cost as much as to make a container of hooligans, so trust me, I'm safe.
Oh my god. I know I'd get a chuckle out of you. So about you now. So people want to know what motivates you.
People motivate me.
Okay.
Energy, and I am very. It's like being around certain people. It's almost contagious. So I feed off energy. Somebody I had a conversation with today at the gym about different fitness centers and whatnot, and I said that specifically why I fell in love with Apollo Gym before I owned it was the fact that energy. When you come here, you want to train. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter who is around me. It doesn't matter if I know the person. It doesn't matter if we talk, if we don't talk. I don't even say I have to say hi to that person. It's just the environment. People that train around me, they can motivate me. So
Mm-hmm.
what motivates me is typically people. I'm driven. I try my best to surround myself with positivity and
Okay.
people that are. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not that smart, so it hasn't been the case my entire life. But I would say probably in the last few years, once I got, I don't know, we want to call it older or more mature. You pick because you're older. but but I think that. Being surrounded by people. If I am with somebody who is a workaholic, for example, Carolina is a good example, right?
Mm-hmm.
She motivates me because she can multitask the way that I can only dream of. I mean, I'm not on that level, but that forces me to work harder because I want to kind of like keep up
Okay.
and live up to that. I mean, she's my business partner, so that obviously, forces me and motivates me to push myself a little bit harder. I mean, I don't have to say anything about Marina because that's self-explanatory.
Yep.
When we met, she was a student, and at the same time, she was so determined. She was never. I mean, you've met her. She's not this loud, obnoxious person. She's very quiet, very reserved,
Yes.
um, but she's very determined. That was a woman when we met. She was in pharmacy school, but at the same time, she wanted to compete in bodybuilding. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember her eating cold chicken on a train to Long Island University, and just being determined to succeed. And that pushed me because keep in mind when I met Marina, I was illegal immigrant. I didn't have a green card. I
Okay.
was making $6 an hour, uh, loading and unloading trucks, and on top of it, I just came off a pretty, not messy, but very difficult divorce in terms of emotionally. So I was suffering at the time from depression and all that. So I wasn't very motivated.
Okay.
And, being around a person like Marina who actually literally pushed me, believed in me, that forced me to believe in myself. That
Yep.
forced me to kind of, don't be a pussy. If she can do it, then, you kind of, you're a man, take
Yeah.
charge. So people definitely stimulate me. People definitely push me, and they, sometimes when, don't get me wrong, in the last couple of years, even with Apollo Nutrition success, there were times when I wanted to give up. I really wanted
Okay.
to give up. And I'm being right now, very dead serious and very, very honest and transparent. I wanted to give up. I wanted to stop. I wanted to say, you know what, fuck it. Let's just sell the gym, sell Apollo Nutrition, and I'm done with this. This is too hard. This is too much.
Were you just
But
burnt? Were you burnt?
I was, well, look at what we are doing. I mean, you've been to Apollo recently a few times. You've
Mm-hmm.
seen the gym is busy, and everybody wants to speak to me and Kay all the time, which is normal. It's totally normal.
Yeah.
And you know what? You want to be respectful because A, you're running a business. B, you want to be respectful to people that are respectful to you. They either respect you or they look up to you and they want to interact with you. And you have to embrace it. You have to be grateful for that. So you want to talk to them, but talking to everybody while you also want to train, and you
Yeah.
have to talk to the manufacturer, and you have to talk to the graphic designer, and you have to catch up on some other work. Look at my office. Our office is basically a fucking store at the same time. I don't have an office here. So it's very, very hard where you get to the point where you like, well, fuck this shit. You know what? I'm fed
Yeah.
up. Enough is enough. This is just too much work, too much stress. And yes, you can get burnt out. And listen, I'm human. I'm just like everybody else.
Yep.
I do get tired. I do get exhausted. I mean, last night we closed the gym at 10, but we actually got out of the gym at midnight
Okay.
because we were working on a project for Apollo Nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, early this morning, now I'm here. We're going to finish the podcast. I'm still going to be here until we close. And I'm not complaining. I'm grateful. Like you
Yeah.
and I talked about this before the podcast. I'm grateful I have work. I'm grateful the company is successful and doing good. I'm grateful for what I have in life, but nevertheless, there's only so much you can take, and sooner or later, it's not necessarily that you're gonna break, but you just need to recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
And recently I went to Florida and stayed there for a couple of days, and I worked from Florida, but I just needed a change of scenery, change of environment, and that helped a lot.
So what brought you back then? What changed your mindset to say I'm back in?
Uh, you remember in Rocky when Mickey says, "Get up, you son of a bitch," because Mickey loves you.
Yep.
That's when I don't have a Mickey, but I have a Marina, I have
Yep. Have a
Carolina,
K.
I have Jessica, I have at the gym, Maria, and I have my other friends and co-workers and supporters and stuff like that. And sooner or later, they they might not say it directly, but they expect the best from you. And if you fail, then you fail them.
Yep.
Apollo Nutrition is not me. Apollo Nutrition is us. Even you sometimes will send, "Oh, I had this idea for Apollo Nutrition. I have this idea for Apollo Nutrition." You don't own Apollo Nutrition, yet you give a fuck. Yet you actually
Yes.
care about it. Yet you're passionate about it. So if you're passionate about it and I'm not, what does it say about me?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's pretty much in a nutshell, I guess.
Good. So let's get on to pollen now. We've got all the fun stuff out of the way. We got people chiming in here. So I know the answer, Robik, but give everybody, a lot of the new listeners, the origins of Apollo Nutrition. Like, give a quick overview. I remember smoothies and whatnot, but give everybody the quick overview on when it started.
2015, part of Apollo Gym, not Apollo Nutrition. It's just part of Apollo Nutrition, Apollo Gym. It wasn't even an LLC or anything like that. It wasn't Inc. It wasn't registered business. It was just a couple of supplements, selling out of the gym for the gym members, and that's it. That evolved into what you have today. I mean, when you have a good product and you have people who willing to stand behind your product, behind your brand, it inevitably will grow, and then you just have to kind of uh, fuel it. Like
Yep.
the gas tank has to be filled, and if you take care of your engine, the car is going to run smoothly and it's going to be good for years and years to come. So that's pretty much it. What you see today is an extension of what started in 2015. I'm still at a Pollen Gym. I'm still the same. Recently I had a conversation with somebody where I said, you know what, the company is still the same, run by the same people, and nothing really changed. And he actually dared to criticize me. He goes to me, "Well, that's not good. That means you didn't evolve." I said, "But we did actually evolve. We
Hmm.
evolved, we grew. The company is nowhere near where it was 7, 8 years ago. Today you have a strong brand with so many SKUs that I don't even know how many we have, with multiple releases, especially the last 3 or 4 years. Each year was stronger than the previous year in terms of releases, SKUs, quality, quantity, everything else. So, where we are today is just an extension. If it's not broke, no need to fix anything. Just keep going
Yep.
and doing what you're good at.
What point did you know you were onto something more than just a house brand or gym brand?
Conversation with Shane.
Okay.
Conversation with Shane. The very first interview with Stacked. I know Shane is very moderate when it comes to it, and he says nobody's watching his channel. Like, I think just Lucas, which might be the truth. It might be true, but at the end of the day, when we had a conversation, and I remember that was about 4 years ago, maybe, and Shane said to me, "It's strange." He says, "You've been in business for 3, 4 years, but I've never heard about Apollo Nutrition." And we had a very, very pleasant conversation on and off the camera. And he actually motivated me, believe it or not. He motivated me kind of because I knew about Stacked, obviously. He didn't know about us, but I knew
Yeah.
about Stacked. So to me, it was like receiving an Oscar. This is recognition. Shane from Stacked is talking to me. He's taking interest in our brand. He wants to introduce us to the world a little bit more officially through the proper channel. To me, that was basically the time where I could say, "Fuck, we arrived. We here. That's it."
Yep.
And that's pretty
Okay.
much how it started. From that point on, I think we were getting only stronger and stronger, perhaps because I believe that we can do it.
At what point, what did you do to raise the bar for yourself? At what point did you what did you do to raise the bar for yourself? Uh, Folks, we will be right back, but hope everybody's doing well. And thank you so much, as always, for watching the podcast. As always, Robik is ratings. But if you have questions, go ahead and put them in here. Don't worry, we'll be getting onto the products here, Anarchy Labs, Assassin, everything else here momentarily. Here he is.
Something happened, I guess, with his friend. Yeah.
It's okay.
So, did you catch everything I said?
You know I did. So I don't know if you heard my question. What did you do to raise the bar for yourself?
Whew, you're on fire today. What did I do to raise the bar? Challenge myself. Challenge myself in a way that I started setting this bar so high for not only Apollo Nutrition but for myself as well. I knew that if the company can get better, the only way for the company to get better is if, I mean, obviously the partners in Apollo Nutrition, myself, Marina, and Kay. So that's a given. But the thing is that I strongly believe that if if the company can only get better if the core of the company is doing better, if we can raise our game. And I
Yep.
knew that game, because Marina is mostly behind the scenes and she's running a pharmacy, but Carolina and I are kind of like the faces of Apollo Nutrition in terms of who's running the brand on a day-to-day basis, daily operation, so to speak. And I said, basically, we had a meeting. We even recently, a few days ago, we said that the workload is growing. We keep getting busier and busier and busier,
Hmm.
and perhaps we need also like a stronger support team of people like yourself, like Maria, like people in our lives that are actually care about the brand, who are willing to help and step in. And but the only way is for us, I guess, the leaders, so to speak, is to be on our A game. We
Yep.
cannot slip for 1 second. We have to demand only, because look at the product. The products are transparent products. They fully dosed always, each and every product. There are no flaws. There are
Yep.
absolutely no flaws. It's either for you or it's not for you. That's for you to decide. But if the brand is for you, I mean, we have pretty much a product for all your needs when it comes to supplements, when it comes to athletic performance or improving athletic performance. Um, but the only way for the company to keep getting better is if we are at the top of our games. So I have no choice but to keep growing
Hmm.
parallel to the brand. At the same time, as the brand is growing, I have to get better. I have to get sharper. And that's the only way. The moment we slow down, or I have that weak moment of weakness, I believe that that's when the consumer is going to feel it, because the brand's not going to do as well.
Yep.
So it's us leading the brand, no other way around. And I don't want to seem like I'm cocky or arrogant here, but that's a fact. If I'm not at
Confidence.
my if I'm not confident and I'm not at my best, then scratch it. It's over.
Yep. Do you think you've silenced the haters and the cynics?
No, absolutely not. That's not possible. The thing
Okay.
is that maybe we converted few people, or people that didn't believe perhaps started believing in a brand. Or I'm talking about maybe perhaps certain retailers who did not want to bring the brand into their stores because they felt like, okay, this is a small brand from the gym. I mean, how good can it be? So perhaps those retailers right now that came on board, that kind of they got convinced, look, these guys are for real. 8 years, they're not going anywhere. They keep getting better and better. The products are keeping getting better. They
Yep.
just won 2 brands of the year back to back. The only time anyone has ever done it before was Redcon, and I truly and firmly believe that this year we actually better than both those years that we won. So, I think that we were able to convince certain people that we are for real and we are here to stay. But
Yep.
in terms of those that hate you, I think your success is going to make them hate you even more.
Yep.
Because let's be honest, a person that wants you to fail, and a person that is does not wish you well, you doing well does not make them like you more. I think it's the exact opposite. So I think that hate is good. I think it's
Yeah.
good. It exists in every industry. I think it exists in every aspect of life. And my reaction towards hate has changed, where I was very, very apprehensive, I guess, and maybe a little bit angry and aggressive. Don't get me wrong, I'm still aggressive.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my touch, but I think I embrace it a little bit more, and I feel like it's actually part of the process. And look, I mean, I'm pretty sure Shane, Lucas, and I just talked about it today. Shane is probably one of the nicest people I know. I mean, just a
Agreed.
great all around guy. I am I'm convinced there are people that cannot stand him. I'm
Of course.
convinced. And if there are people that don't like Shane, which even though I don't know how it's possible, I mean, imagine when it comes to me. I mean, that's no brainer.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah, so it's fine. You know what? I mean, I treat hate more like fuel, and I treat hate more as a sign of either jealousy or hidden respect.
Well, and just to be blunt, you have softened, but I mean that positive over the years. Maybe it's age, maturity, or yes, maybe you were. I'm going to use the word combative years ago with some of the negativity, but I think you've learned to kind of turn that around and fuel the fire. That makes sense.
I think that I'm still transparent. I'm still very honest. I'll still answer any question that you might have, whether it's right now or just in general in life. I'm not gonna hold back. If you're gonna ask me about somebody that I dislike, I will say I dislike that person. If you want
Yep.
me to say why I dislike that person, I will say why I dislike that person, and it's gonna come from the heart. I'm just not going to be super aggressive. I haven't been really directly attacked by anyone, not to my knowledge, at least recently. So I didn't have a reason to defend myself. I mean, look, in fighting, there is an expression that's called defend yourself at all times,
Hmm.
you know, self defense. So you only hit back when somebody hits you. I don't have a reason to hit anyone. Nobody hit me. If somebody said something stupid or something that comes out of jealousy or hatred or maybe other reasons, then that's okay. I can let it go. And I also don't want to give him those 2 minutes of fame by acknowledging his existence. But if it's somebody, I mean, if you do something that's harmful to me, to
Hmm.
people I love, to company I've built, or something dear to my heart, then yeah, I mean, I will definitely bite back, and I'm not gonna hold back for sure.
Well, it's like me. My term is don't mess with my family, my friends, and my finances.
I mean, fairly accurate,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if we're talking, older, more mature, then yeah, definitely. Certain things I can overlook and even ignore.
Yep. So we've got people already asking here. Anarchy Labs. Any updates?
Yes. So Anarchy Labs was tentatively scheduled to be released in November, December of 2023.
Okay.
As of right now, because of full calendar, and I mean full, I have no idea how it happened, but we have literally weekly releases. Weekly releases, and they're pretty cool, not just Assassin, but a lot more than that. Up until December 31st, the schedule is absolutely full. The products, I just talked about this with Justin, and I talked about this with Robert recently on the podcast. The products for Anarchy Labs are formulas are done. Um, Flavors have been picked. Purchase orders have been placed. Everything is done. It's just a matter of picking the right release time. My schedule right now is absolutely full up until I would say January, February of 2024. So,
Jeez.
but we have something cool for the Arnold Classic UK, and those dates. So not because I'm not going to blame it on a manufacturer. I'm not going to blame it on anyone. There's nothing to blame. I'm just going to state that Anarchy Labs is definitely going to happen. It's just going to be maybe 2 3 months delayed, but
Okay.
purely just because of Apollo Nutrition and upcoming releases. Because obviously, I don't want one to overshadow the other.
So with January and February, which is just a blink away, you still going to try to go the cadence of every week, or you going to finally have a little bit of a break
As
come
of
the new
right
year?
now, as of right now, we have a release pretty much, I would say, up until December 31st on a weekly basis. There's no doubt
Jeez.
about it that we have. I mean, I told Shayna we're gonna do something that's never, well, we haven't done for sure. I don't know. I remember, I think NutriBio did something where they had a release either every week or something like that for about 6 months. I think we're smashing that because we've so far been having a release for the past 2 months on a
Yep.
weekly basis. And up until then, since January, we released 2 3 products or flavor or new product or upgrade every month. I mean, we're already sitting probably at about 20 30 products released already, if not
Jeez.
more. Just so you know, last year we released about 40 or 42 products. I
Yep.
think this year we absolutely smashing that number, destroying it. So it's just like I said, there is absolutely no room for more. It would be just taking thunder from other products, and it just wouldn't be smart because we already kind of, I have certain retailers that want to carry the entire line saying, please slow down.
Where are you going to put it all? Your store slash room is getting smaller and smaller now.
Don't worry, I've been yelled about that for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem, especially in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be. I don't think we have room, so we're gonna have to improvise and come up with something.
So somebody's saying my bank lady would like to have a talk with you about all these new products, and it's not Pete because I know Pete feels the same way.
Yeah.
Assassin V8.
Mm-hmm.
Any updates on that?
Yeah, targeted release September 15th. It's still
Okay.
happening. In fact, we're expecting the shipment of Assassin tomorrow. So, for promotional work and etc. But yeah, it's definitely happening. And yeah, everything is according to schedule.
And how is that going to compare? Obviously, I haven't seen the label to the collaboration you did with Panda. Kind of just as heavy and hard on the stems, or
Put it this way, and again, I never exaggerate. I always call it as it is. Panda's gonna look like a non-stem in comparison.
God.
I mean, it's Assassin, and let's be honest. You have a few iconic pre-workouts in that space, like for example, Jack 3D.
Nutrix Outlift.
I knew
I
you're
had
gonna.
to.
I knew you're gonna go there. Yeah, I'll let Lucas debate that one because I think that he is. He clearly that one doesn't sit well with him, but yeah, we can definitely talk about this. I actually don't mind at all. I think that's a whole other subject that we can discuss. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, as much as I was, not am, but was a fan of Nutrix, the Outlift was a good pre-workout. I really enjoyed it back when it was released first.
Yeah.
I do not consider it legendary by any means. I thought it
Okay.
was a good pre-workout, just like many others that I've experienced. But when it comes to legendary or iconic, there are a couple of pre-workouts that definitely fit the bill. Anno Explode, whether you like it or not, that's an iconic, legendary pre-workout. C4, as much shit as people are talking, especially in the hardcore space, about C4, you cannot deny the fact that C4 is a legendary pre-workout.
Yep.
If we're talking about hardcore, then you cannot deny Jack 3D, Jack, the original
Mm-hmm.
one. That
Yep.
that one is pretty badass. When Assassin came on the scene, at that time nobody has seen anything like it. I was the first one to do DMA at 80 milligram, which was unheard
Jeez.
of. I remember back then, I think 30, 40 milligram was the standard. I went to 75 right off the bat, and then I had 80. And Assassin was it always stood out as a stim junkie. I hate that fucking word, but as a stim junkie pre-workout. But despite the fact that it hit pretty hard, with all the stems, it was actually a good quality pre-workout because it
Yeah.
had other attributes to it that made it an all-around pretty, fully um, functional pre-workout, just very strong. You had pump was mediocre because it had only 4 grams of citrulline, which is
Mm-hmm.
close to bare minimum, 3 4.
Yep.
But it was decent pump. Focus was always in Euphoria amazing, and energy, long lasting energy, was always phenomenal. So we're at version 8 right now. So we had to step up. I
Yep.
feel like for the past 2 years, we haven't released a new Assassin last year. We released a new Assassin. The latest Assassin was about 2 years ago,
Okay.
and Assassin was always popular, but it was and let's be honest. It's a pre-workout that a lot of other brands kind of looked as, let's call it, an inspiration.
Okay.
and and I wanted to make sure that this version of Assassin is strong because Assassin needs to be strong,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it's a better quality product. I
Okay.
wanted more Euphoria. I wanted more focus. I wanted more, and I wanted this time around. I never wanted to emphasize pump with Assassin, but this time around we added a little bit more pump than usual. I would
Okay.
say we haven't raised the pump aspect in Assassin ever. So this is the first time that there's going to be a little bit more pump to it as well, ever since the first one. So this is going to be, and finally, it's going to taste at least tolerable because up until probably version 7, it was just barely
Gasoline.
yeah, it was barely manageable. People that took Assassin never took it for the taste, but nevertheless, I mean, the criticism about the taste was fair because it did taste like shit. This one tastes, I'm not gonna say delicious because it's just not my style to exaggerate,
Yep.
but this one tastes decent. It
Okay.
definitely tastes decent. So overall, it's an improvement. Let's not forget, the design by Waldron is absolutely badass.
Yep.
This is the best looking label we've ever had with Assassin for sure, and it's going to be a bigger tub. I can say that this is going to be the same size as Hooligan, so you can
Wow.
imagine
Okay.
going to be more ingredients, more dosages, and stuff like that.
So Hooligan's coming on 7 or 8 years. Would you consider that legendary, or is that still not the proper term yet?
You know what? If I'm going to say legendary, I'm going to lie.
Okay.
Because I think Hooligan is a legendary Apollon Nutrition pre-workout because
Okay.
that's a pre-workout that started the brand.
Okay.
I think that within Apollon Nutrition, Hooligan is legendary. If we are talking about mainstream or a big market, then I would be a total liar if I said that, and it's just
Okay.
not my thing. So Hooligan, I think within the hardcore community, within people that know Apollon Nutrition, then Hooligan has obviously it developed just like Assassin its own fan base and cult
Yep.
following, but it's definitely not a legendary pre-workout. It's a pre-workout that means a lot to me. That is the one that, like I said, started upon when we started the brand with Hooligan and 50/50 Formula X. So to me, this pre-workout means everything. I think
Okay.
that I still remember formulating it first time. Will it ever achieve legendary status? Probably not, because I don't think that Upon will ever be a mainstream company, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheels. You know, I do want Upon to be the best Upon can be. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want Upon to become Ghost. I don't want Apollon to become Glaxon. I
Yep.
don't want Apollon to become Salucor. I don't want to sell out and betray our fan base and people that have been with us for years. So the only thing I care about is I care about Apollon obviously growing. I would like it to be financially stronger. I would
Mm-hmm.
like it to grow. I would like to be the first brand to get the third brand of the year from Stacked, the only award that actually means something.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't have aspirations for Hooligan to be mainstream or to be legendary, because that I'm trying to go after mainstream market. We have a small piece of a pie. I'm happy with that piece.
Yep.
If that piece can expand gradually a little bit, great. And it's been steadily expanding for the past since from day one. It's
Right.
been steadily expanding. But I love my team. I love my brand. I love
Mm-hmm.
where we are, and this is exactly where I want to stay. I don't have aspirations. I know maybe that sounds like a loser, because maybe I should aspire to be as big as Radcon and whatnot, but it's never gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I'm at peace with that. I'm more than okay with it. If we can be recognized as a badass brand that they changed, maybe not necessarily changed, but made a difference within the industry, I'll be more than happy with it. For more than that, I already got more out of this brand that I ever dreamt of. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm already overachiever. To
Mm-hmm.
me, we achieved way more than ever expected. So I'm at peace with that. So fuck legendary status, fuck game changers. I think we are the game changers, because we did change the game 8 years ago when we started doing what we were doing, and we did make a difference. More
Yep.
than that, I'm cool.
Our good friend Sandeep is asking new version of Lionheart.
Yes, that's planned for 2024. So Lionheart is definitely. I'm always careful with that. But the plan is for Lionheart. Lionheart's been around for the past 2 years. I think that new edition probably sometimes in 2024. I know definitely that Hooligan version 7 is coming, also in 2024. So more than likely, we will see Lionheart also towards middle to end of 2024.
So for people listening, maybe the question isn't if there's a new product coming, it's when is the new version coming?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that always, you know what? I'm not. I don't believe everything in life. It's about progress.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about being the best you can be. So I think that will it there be hooligan number 23? I don't know. Maybe. But the thing is that I know that as long as you know Carolina, myself, Marina are running the company, as long as we're not gonna change our direction. So that means as long as we are in charge, as long as we have the company, as long as we get the support from our customers, and we keep on living and getting better and more successful, there's gonna be new additions and new
Yep.
versions, because I think sky is the limit. And you know, just like I keep quoting Sean Ray again and again, I never see satisfaction in the mirror. So I
Yep.
never see that satisfaction. I'm already looking into Assassin version 9, because I think I
Jeez.
can improve 8.
So I had a question. I want to go all the way back to Nutrex and Chris Waldrum and everything else, and we don't hold back, Robert. You know this. So
Yeah, go ahead.
someone sent us a question: is Chris Waldrum, by him selling Inspired and joining Nutrex, is that admitting failure for Inspired or himself? I have my thoughts on this, and I don't know if
Ooh, it's a good question. It's a serious question.
and it's
Uh,
not a knock because you're good friends with Chris, and I have the utmost respect for Chris as well. Because again, he was like my fifth guest when I started the podcast. I love the man to death.
yeah, no, this is definitely gonna be an honest answer. Listen, I don't know the financial situation that Inspired was prior to being sold. I don't know the level of success or failure that Inspired had prior to being sold.
Hmm.
I can only say what I saw, just like you. and I believe that Inspired won Brand of the Year. I want to say 2016.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there. They won Brand of the Year. And to me personally, because Upon was a baby, it was a year or 2 years old, and we were just selling here at the gym. So to me, that was like almost a role model, so to speak. Um, I think the brand was extremely successful, great products for most part. Not every formula I have agreed with, not every product I've agreed with, but overall, I like the pre workout. I
Hmm.
tried the protein. I think I wasn't a big fan. I liked the taste of the greens. I remember that. And I thought that Chris is definitely very edgy in terms of like he likes to take risks,
Yes.
and he definitely is not afraid to think outside the box. And for me, that's already something. I think that that's where our personalities kind of align because we both like to take risks and we both like um, to do something that others don't dare to do. I mean, look at his labels. His labels are, and still, in my opinion, are second to none.
Yes.
He's willing to take a risk. He's willing to make a statement. After that, I think for the last few years, we definitely saw that Inspired slow down. I mean, this is not negativity. This is not shit talking. This is just an observation. I saw a couple of products coming out of Inspired Australia. I don't
Hmm.
know that relationship with that distributor. Never, like, it's none of my business. So we did see that there was a bit of a, it wasn't as hyped up and it wasn't as popular, I guess, as it was around 2016, 17, 18. They did release another Devastate that actually won, I believe, Best Pre Workout from Stacked, I think about 2 years ago. So
Yep.
it was prior to Chris selling the company. Um, I don't know why Chris sold it. I have no idea. I don't know how it was doing financially. So for me, it would be pure speculation. I
Yeah.
did hear the same as you, is that, he sold the company and now he works for Nutrix. That, I mean, let's be honest, when somebody owns a company and all of a sudden sells the company and works for somebody else, typically it's looked upon as a step backward, typically.
Okay.
However,
Maybe.
exactly, maybe. However, I don't know if I totally agree with that statement because I know what it's like to run a brand. It's a fucking headache. It's
Yeah.
24/7 nonstop. It's extremely competitive space. It's very, very hard to do. So, if, and anything in life, well, almost anything, everything, has a price, especially when it comes to business. Maybe he was offered something that he couldn't turn down. That is highly possible too.
Yep.
Maybe somebody offered him more than the company was worth. That's also, maybe it was too good to turn down the deal and he wanted to spend. I know he's expecting a baby, I believe.
Yep.
Maybe he wanted a little bit more time with his family and he wanted to cash out. People speculate because people like to talk shit.
Exactly.
um, I don't know the reasons. I know that Inspired still exists. I know that they released recently a new product, a new pre workout. I saw it. I don't know who was behind the previous one. Was it Chris or was it Landon? The latest one looks similar, definitely, to the previous one. So you could see that it's, the same signature move, which I like because I did
Yeah.
the same with Assassin, with Hooligan, with all the pre workouts. When I make a new version, it has to look like the previous, just better.
Yep.
So the company still exists. He's with Nutrix right now. I talked to him. He's happy. He moved to
That's
Florida.
it. All accounts.
Yeah, and he's happy. Was he honest with me? I think he was. And I think that, what, he had his reasons for selling. I don't know if Chris owned the company by himself or he had actually business partners. Sometimes you just want to part ways with your business partners. That can be the case
Hmm.
too, for whatever reason. People get
Yeah.
sick and tired of each other. So I think people just like to talk and people like to speculate and let them have a little bit of fun. To me, I consider Chris a friend. He's done has
Same here.
tremendous work for me in terms of labels and designs. I respect the guy. I think he's aggressive. I think he's definitely very opinionated. I can't say I agree with everything that Chris says, or maybe even does. But again, I don't have to because listen, I don't even agree with Marina or Carolina on everything. That's the nature of marriages, relationships, friendships. We're not gonna see eye to eye on every subject, and that's fine.
That's it.
But as long as Chris is happy, good for him.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all you can do is applaud his success. Don't look at all the negatives.
Correct. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I can't call Outlift a legendary pre-workout. That I won't do.
So if anybody's wondering, go to the Price Plow review with Ben there, and some interesting comments. As he says that Outlift is a legendary product. We'll just leave it at that. Robik, someone was asking any bars, RTDs, energy drinks, anything in the future from that kind of category or categories. And I know RTDs are a very competitive space for shelf space and finances, obviously.
So definitely no when it comes to bars. Have bad experience with that even at the gym. I remember them, when it's really hot, melting and this and that, and there's a storage issue and margins and headaches. And plus, to be honest with you, the only way for me personally to release a protein bar would be if the protein bar would be of the highest possible quality
Yep.
and with no shit added to it at all. But let's face it, if there is no shit added to it, more than likely it's going to taste like shit. So I'm not going to take that risk. I'm not going to go, through that route. So I think that's never say never, but at this point, that's not even on the radar. I'm not even going to entertain that idea. Energy drink, we actually discussed that. I'm not going to lie. I even picked Shane's brain on it, and I'm still not ruling it out. And I'll even admit there was a plan idea to release it in 2023, but it takes way too much energy. It takes way too much time. It takes way too much money,
Yep.
and the space is extremely competitive. I don't think Apollon is at the level where we can be truly competitive yet on that scene. So, and I would want to do it my way. And if I do it my way, that bitch is gonna be fully loaded, and it's gonna be actually an actual energy drink that actually does something and not just taste like soda, a good tasting soda, and you can barely feel.
Yep.
So, I will say that project is on hold.
Okay.
And will it happen or not? I don't know. So as of right now, it's on hold. I will say this: when it comes to liquids, I am working on something, and hopefully in the next few months, I'll be able to reveal.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. This is a real question. Someone asked, when are you and I coming to Greenland to fight polar bears? I'm not making this shit up.
I have a very good suspicion who asked that question because there's only one friend I have in Greenland, and apparently he's an asshole because he wants me fucking killed. But how about this? How about he brings his ass from Greenland here because it's fucking cold over there, and I hate cold.
Oh my God. As we wind down here, let's quickly cover the seminar. This year looks very fighter heavy than usual. Maybe it's just me when I look at the lineup.
I think that this has to do, even though this is not technically an Apollon Nutrition seminar, this is an Apollon Gym seminar because we do have athletes that are sponsored by other companies. So I don't like to shove Apollon Nutrition down people's throat because I think that might be a little bit disrespectful. Yes, I mean obviously Apollon Nutrition is part of it because the gym and nutrition, they basically like a married couple. But at the same time, let's not deny the fact that the supplement industry. I consider myself right now from a supplement industry, so the supplement industry is definitely part of this seminar without a doubt. And I think one of the things that has changed in the last couple of years when it comes to supplements is the sponsored athletes.
Mhm.
And back in the day, you had Muscle Tech and Universal, Animal, and all these companies employ nothing but bodybuilders. Bodybuilders were the only sponsor athletes. They were making shitload of money, and that was pretty much it. Ever since then, it changed. Now you have fighters, you have powerlifters, you have strongmen, you have all kind of athletes representing supplements. You have people that never even competed, what you call influencers, that are in good shape. I think that what people are missing is the fact that supplements are now not just up for bodybuilders.
Yes.
A certain bodybuilder told me recently, well, Apollo Nutrition doesn't scream bodybuilding, and I
Okay.
don't see a reason why it would. I don't think it
Yeah.
should. Personally, I think we have great lineup for bodybuilders, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's only for bodybuilders. It's definitely not an only bodybuilding brand. It's a brand for everybody, all athletes and just average Joe who wants a better, better physique, healthier physique, who wants to perform better inside the gym. So
Yep.
when you look at All Star Seminar, why not be represented by all? I mean, it's called All Star. It doesn't. It's not called All Bodybuilding Stars.
Yep.
It's All Star. So we have athletes from different sports, and I think that's what makes it so unique is the fact that at the same table you have people that are athletes, but don't forget we also have people that are not athletes but
Mm-hmm.
very well known within, for example, the supplement world. Like, the Review brothers are coming. They look athletic, they train, but they're not accomplished athletes, yet they are, at least in our space in the supplement industry, I would consider them stars. You have
Yes.
TJ from Fitness Deal News. I would consider him a star. I mean, TJ is old as
Don't
fuck.
let him know that. Don't let him know
Yeah,
that.
TJ is old as fuck. He's older than you, and I thought that you're the oldest person on earth. And but the fact remains, TJ is actually in good age for being a great grandfather. He looks very, very good. He does take supplements with all the assassins and jacked and what else the fuck he took. I'm surprised he's still alive. But look, he's alive in great shape. So you have athletes from all walks of life, and I think that's what makes it a fun get together. I wouldn't even call it a seminar. I would call it a get together where people just
Yes.
come and have fun. And that's what makes it so unique. And I think that's the reason why it's been growing for the past couple of years steadily. And no, we don't have thousands of people in attendance. And some people ask me to promote it heavier and maybe rent out another space. But I don't want to, because Apollo Gym is our home. This is where it
Yes.
needs to be. Even if a person is standing on top of another person, so be it. But that's fine. I just want to make sure that it's here at our home where people feel welcomed.
Yep.
And I want to see athletes and known, I don't want to call them famous necessarily, but known, respected personalities from all kind of industries. That's what makes it so special.
Yep. And you got almost everything. Somebody for someone for everyone. Like
Yeah,
if you're a
that's
sports fan, there's someone for everyone.
this. You know what? I've been in the United States since 1980. Well, no, 1997. I came to the country in 1997, and in '97, I went to my first Mr. Olympia in '98 in New York City when Ronnie Coleman won, and
Oh
then
yeah.
I've been going to the Olympia pretty much every year since. And at the expo, you would usually see people that are huge and buff and muscular and enhanced. I just went to the event at the Natural Body, the Epic Block Party, and I was pleasantly not surprised, but I'm kind of like, I actually looked at it and realized people that were there to attend and, to try supplements and to meet athletes and to meet us, they were average looking, average Joe
Yep.
housewives, soccer moms. I mean, and that's what makes it so beautiful, that you see some woman in her mid 40s, 50s buying Time Cop,
Yeah.
or getting 50-50 Formula X or something like that. And then I saw other companies, I think First Form, instead of bodybuilders, they brought UFC fighters.
Wow.
And
Okay.
and it was fun. It was great to see that people were there to meet them. And it's no longer just bodybuilding. It's, like I said, it's all star, and I like the fact that now you can actually call it a community.
Yes, yes. October 7th, which is
It's
a Saturday,
October 7th on Saturday at Apollon Gym, and you're gonna see.
noontime. Is it noon or 1?
No, no, it's noon. Yeah, it's 12
Okay.
o'clock, same as always. And you're going to see quite a few people. Not everybody, believe it or not, is a Branch Warren fan. Just
Yep.
like, there are some people who are going to come and see, again, TJ or Shane or Review Brothers or and it's great. Some people that from the area that are definitely going to come and say hello to you. And I think that's what makes it so special is that it doesn't feel somebody who has 1 million followers and somebody who has 3 followers on Instagram. They sitting together and they talking and they interacting, and I think that's what makes it so special.
It's an experience. I mean, the event is 2 hours, but like for me and a lot of people, they fly in for the long weekend. They train Friday. Some people train Sunday, and it's just a good get together. Go out for dinner, drinks, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the weather is usually good. I mean, we had one time, I think, pretty cold and rainy October. I mean, All Star Seminar event, but last year was beautiful, and it was at the end of October. This time, at the end of in the beginning, for most part, we know that it's not going to be extremely hot.
Yep.
It's definitely not going to be cold, so we can expect normal temperature. Hopefully, it's not going to be raining, but I think it's great. Like you said, it's a fun weekend just to get together with friends, and that's it. And that's what it's all about.
And Robik loves to give out free hugs to the event.
Free hugs for everybody.
So I got a couple of more here. I got numerous times Hard Target. New Hard Target dropping soon. Or is it?
New hard target for 2024. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We. As of right now, I think that in the next couple of weeks you will see a couple of surprises from us for sure. I'll say this: Assassin is definitely not the last pre-workout that you're gonna see because Apollon is expected to have few pre-workouts, so there's gonna be at least another 2 pre-workouts before the end of the year, and they're gonna be very different. They're going to be different because I mean, what's the point? When somebody said, I know Shane, for example, posted today about X and Sledge, that X and Sledge is going to have 6th or 7th pre-workout, and Apollon has about 7 or 8 pre-workout, too. But I don't mind if the company has 25 pre-workouts, as long as they're not all the same. Because let's be honest, there are so many products for so many different people and for different needs. I know you're not that big on stems, so you clearly not a full scoop assassin person, which
Lionheart.
is
Lionheart, baby. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Lionheart is my go-to as well. So a little bit for everybody, but yeah, gonna have definitely an interesting next few weeks.
So this Friday, of course, you've brought up I'm old many times. You have a digestive aid coming out, and I forget what the name of it is. I apologize.
That's okay. God glory.
Got Glory. Okay. And then we got a Labor Day sale going on starting today, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
25% off with
Yeah.
pollen code Pollen Strong.
Hmm.
And I think we've kind of hit everything. As always, my friend, it's time just flew. But anything else before we kind of log off here?
Well, I'll say this: that apart from the releases for Assassin and all that, sometimes probably next week, look out for a very very special video from Carolina. I think that's gonna surprise a lot of people. Well, maybe not surprise, but you're definitely gonna like it. And there is one more uh, breaking kind of news from Carolina in the next 2-3 months.
I don't know if Carolina can drop a better video than the Casanova one.
Uh, I'll say this: it will have you speechless.
Okay.
Well, Casanova is a good idea. I think she should do more of those videos. Might as well make herself useful.
Everyone's listening, but if she ever thought about making a calendar, it's some great side money. I'm sure she'd make some serious bucks.
We actually talking about a calendar, yes.
Okay.
We've been talking about calendar. Personally, I think we should have you and me on it too.
We want to make sales, not lose them.
Good point.
All right. Well, anyway, my friend, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad you're doing well. And as
Thanks,
always,
Tom.
thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who listened and will listen. And like I said, always a pleasure. And we probably will do it again before the seminar. So everybody stay tuned and thank you so much. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate at any point. Send me a DM. I'll be more than happy to answer.
And as always, ApolloNutrition.com, and I'm at Supptalk_radio. Thank you so much, folks. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Bye.